Hello, I'm Mathieu from Ludovox, and today I am going to give you an overview of Overseers. So Overseers is a drafting game for 3 to 6 players, ages 14 and up, and it plays in around 30 minutes. So Overseers is a drafting game in which you try to balance the world as a daughter, an Overseer, a daughter of the Mother Goddess. And what happens is that you try to collect these victory points and you want to get as much as possible. So we do that through collection of cards. So we get dealt 6 cards that we're going to draft, and each of the cards represents a feeling that mankind can have, because we want to balance the feelings of mankind. So the feelings work, well, there are 2 ways of scoring with feelings. You have cards that score simply because they are there. So for example, anger would give you 6 points, or benevolence would give you 4 points, or greed would give you 2 points, but it has a special ability. And finally, there are set collections. So for example, hope is worth nothing if you have 1 of hope. If you have 2 cards of hope in your set, you get 6 points, and if you have 3 cards of hope, you get 21 points. So this is massive and major. So we get those cards, so we draft them. We get 6 of the cards and an Overseer card, which is a character that kind of changes the game. I'm going to allude to that later because it kind of moves the way the game works. But we have our 6 cards. We pick one that we are going to probably score. Give our hand of cards to the next player. He gives, we receive another hand of cards from the previous player, and we draft those cards until we have drafted 5 out of 6. The rest is discarded into a pile, the discard pile, and then we move on to the next phase, which is the placement and vote phase. So the players are going to try to assess the one with the most points, the person who takes the lead and who is going to be the master overseer. And it's not blind luck or, blind guess, because people are going to reveal 3 of their cards and hide the remaining 2. So let's imagine that we do this, we do that. Okay. So now people know kind of what the others have. And starting with the first player, people are going to vote for the Overseer with the most points, or so they think. So for example, here, Fu Shen has 1 courage and 1 hope. And those are the 2 cards that enable set collection. So maybe it's a trick because she may have angers or benevolence or lust or greed there, but as we kind of know what cards are there, we know it's probably not greed because we have 1 there and 1 there out of 3. Anger is kind of represented here, so we have 2 angers out of 3, so it's probably going to be courage or hope, which are worth a massive amount of points if there are a lot of them. So first player is probably going to say, okay, it's you, I think it's you. The next player kind of follows. I think the third player might want to follow as well, and Fu Shen is going to vote for someone else. There is a majority of votes here, so Fu Shen has the right to deny the accusation or to accept the accusation and the sanction that comes with it. Because if you're too strong, if you don't respect the harmony, well, you're going to lose cards. And if you accept the sanction, you choose 2 cards and discard them. You won't score them this round. If you decline, if you refuse to be accused, the cards are revealed, and if you had the most points, you would lose 2 cards as well, but the one that gives you most points. In the other case, you would choose. And if you're wrongly accused, you're going to go through the discard pile and take 1 card of your choosing. So you're going to take 1 card, so for example, a hope that would complete my series of hope because I had a lot of courage and starting a new series was not worth it. So I would get these many points. Then after we do this, after the revelation, we move on to the greed phase. I told you that the greed cards had kind of something, a little something that compensates for them being so weak. And if you have the majority of greed cards, you're going to pick a player and he's going to give you one of his cards. Then we move on to the scoring phase. So for each of your cards, you count the points of your cards and you get coins according to the value of your cards. And then we deal all of the cards together, and we shuffle them, and we deal a new round, moving the next player, the first player to the next player. We also change overseers, and the overseers kind of have a dramatic effect on the game. So for example, if there's an overseer that allows you to copy the effects of a card, one would simply tell you, okay, instead of showing 3 cards and hiding 2, I'm going to hide 3 and show 2. Or for example, you could say anger and lust are worth more points, or you could pick a player and he would lose 1 point per card in his set. So there are a variety of overseers that kind of change the game and the balance of the game, and change the rounds. Well, the game ends after 3 rounds of the game, and the one with the most points wins. You know almost everything about overseers, so please play in harmony and see you on Ludovox. Bye!